Yesterday, Nyoro reduced the cost of school fees for day school learners in Kiharu to 500 shillings per term. And in case you missed it, here's the tip.
Wacha niseme kwa Kiswahili ya kwamba hapa Kiharu, kwa Kiharu masomo bora ya 2026 ambayo inakava shule zetu zote za day secondary schools, which is covering grade 10 and form 3 and form 4. The school fees in Kiharu in the year 2026 in our day secondary schools per term, it will be 500 shillings.
Now, meanwhile, confused characters like Junet Mohammed are busy saying such things in parliament.
Otherwise, which member of parliament here can afford through his NGCDF to build classrooms, plaster them, put windows, put roof, put tiles in the classroom, cabros in the... Mr. Speaker, which member of parliament can afford to do that here? With a mere resources of 100 million shillings, Mr. Speaker, and advertise on Citizen Primetime News. Which member can do it? Can you raise up your hand if you can do that? None of the 349 members of this House, Mr. Speaker, can afford to do that. That can only be done by somebody who has access to bigger resources than any other member, Mr. Speaker. The Budget and Appropriation Committee did not start the other day.
What will Junet now say that Nyoro is no longer the budget committee chair? Kwa zamani mulikuwa mnasema yeye ndo chair wa budget committee, anaiba pesa, anapeleka Kiharu, anajenga mashule, anaweka cabros. You removed him from that position. Atandi is sitting in that position. The classrooms where Atandi comes from look like crap. Nyoro anaendelea kuweka cabro kama kawaida, shule zinaendelea kujengwa kama kawaida. School fees imekuwa 500. Can you imagine how the parents in Kiharu are feeling very proud of how they voted? Hii Januari ambayo inasumbua kila mtu, watu wametoka holiday, shughuli ya kurelax na nini. People don't have anything in their pockets. Even schools are negotiating with parents are saying, pay 35%, you can clear the rest as we proceed. But people are still having a difficult time to do so. In Kiharu ni 500. Hata kama mzazi kama una pesa, ukienda kwa duka ukope nanasi ya 200, uchonge uweke kwa ndoo, utembee nayo, uuze upate faida ikue 450. You repeat tomorrow, ushamaliza school fees for that entire term. If you do that hustle for 2, 3, 4 days, upate 1500, umelipa for the whole year. And Junet is busy saying, how can somebody do this? How can somebody do that? You see, it starts with the mind. If you don't believe it's possible, it will never be possible. Even worse, if you vote for somebody who believes it's not possible, like Junet Mohammed, how do you then expect change at your local level? Can it ever really happen? And that's why we are having myopic leaders, sana sana pande ya ODM kama kuna mmoja Otiende Omolo. Look at the kind of things they are building. Now that aside, in this video I want us to look into some of the reasons why Nyoro is able to achieve such wonders in Kiharu using the same NGCDF that his colleagues in parliament are getting, but they just for some reason can't replicate the successes. Anywho, with no further ado, let's get after it. Number 1, Nyoro is able to achieve 10 times more what the other MPs can only dream of because of the use of an escrow account in Kiharu. Now, an escrow account is a holding account where money is kept by a neutral third party until agreed upon conditions are met. So in other words, no pinching, no diversion of funds, no gerrymandering until the work agreed upon is complete. The third party checks and says that yes, it has been done and the money is released. Just listening to Nyoro explaining the phenomenon.
Take 1 million. Wenye tuko nyuma tunaona. Kiharu primary. Hakuna shule kama hiyo lakini just for demonstration. Kiharu primary. Then constituency X primary. Sitaki kusema ine. Hivi ndivyo tulifanya kazi. Nikipeleka hii check na huyu MP apeleke hii check. Both 1 million. Huyu mbunge wa X constituency akipeleka hiyo check ya 1 million, ataenda apigiwe makofi, aibiwe, akitoka kwa gate ya hiyo shule, hii 1 million, akiondoka tu hivi, kwanza anaondoka na 160,000. Si mnaelewa ni ya nini? Itanidi kusema kitu hapo. 16% ni nini? Hapo mnaelewa. Hiyo anaondoka nayo kwa gate. Alafu huyu contractor ameleta, huyo sio mtu ya serikali, ni mtu wa biashara. Na yeye anaangalia faida, the least 30%, 300,000. So, mbunge hajaiba, CDF chairman hajaiba, mwalimu hajaiba, lakini mbunge akipigiwa makofi akifika kwa geti hivi, anaondoka na 460,000. Now, hii yetu tumepeleka hapa from, do you know how we manage? We manage like accrual account. Pesa ikiingia, tunatoa 5% ile admin. From there, mchanga ikikuwa ordered inalipwa from this account, which mtaelezwa maneno ya procurement ya hiyo later. So without stealing, without anything, our work will be double than yours.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, explains why Ndindi Nyoro is able to build such structures. While his colleagues in Bomet are building things like this. Again, in 2027, be very careful who you vote for, guys. We have learned that how you vote can directly affect how much school fees you pay in January. Watu wa Kiharu, you are reaping the fruits of your vote. Now, having said that, let's see what Kenyans on X had to say about this good news from Ndindi Nyoro, and I quote. Malcolm X Kenya said, Ruto as president is giving out handouts while an MP in Kiharu is changing the future deliberately. This is bottom-up redefined. Now parents will have more disposable income to do other things as their votes actually counted. Kutoa Ndindi Nyoro will be very difficult. I agree. Whether akuje na DCP, whether akuje na independent, people of Kiharu don't really care. They'll revote this guy. Desk Vieta said, Mungu Baba Mwenyezi, give us 290 of them just like this one. Speaking from experience, education is the greatest and ultimate equalizer. Ask me and my mother, I want to cry jamani. Bernard Koech said, at this rate, Ndindi Nyoro will be paying stipends to students in the next 5 years, and in 10 years, all students proceeding to public universities might have their fees paid using CDF. Nyaga Okumu said, kudos, Kiharu and the larger Murang'a County under Governor Honorable Kang'ata, showing what leadership ought to be. Duncan said, this is what Kenya needs to do if they are to approach Singapore in 5 decades. Invest more than 20% of its GDP in education, which is a world-class quantity, and then the rest will fall in place like a jigsaw puzzle. And finally, I'll read this final one. Dennis G. Mwai said, imagine if Kasongo posted such good news instead of moving around the country with convoys yapping two-term nonsense. What could make Kenyans not to give him his 2 terms unopposed? Congratulations, Ndindi Nyoro. Continue doing the good work. The universe will never forget.
Good afternoon, fellow Kenyans. It's good that we tuchanuane, tuambiane how we should go about things. I keep on telling Kenyans that when you are supporting someone politically, let it not be because you're supporting him because he's against another person. And the reason why you are supporting Joachim is because he is against William Ruto. Apana, that should not be the reason. Do not support President Ruto because he's against a particular person. Support someone based on their ability to make you achieve the goals that you have set out to achieve. So, for example, forgive me for saying this, but let me make example. You come from Luo Nyanza and you support Ruto right now, which is okay. I have no problem with that. But your only reason for supporting Ruto is because he is against Mount Kenya. At later support William Ruto because he is against Kikuyus. Talilia kwa choo kama bafu imefungwa. Juzi President Ruto amekuwa Nyeri. Ulimusikia akisema mambo ya Singapore? Did William Ruto tell people of Nyeri that he wants to take them to Singapore? Hapana. Hiyo maneno anasemanga akiwa Nyanza, akiwa huko Western Kakamega. But when he went to Mount Kenya, alitukana watu wa Western na Nyanza. Akasema nyinyi ndio mimi nilipigiwa kura, nilipigiwa na nyinyi. Naweza wachana na nyinyi niende nikaungane na wale watu wengine wapumbavu. Sijataja mtu, but if in your heart, you feel like you are the one President Ruto was referring to as wapumbavu, think twice. Think twice. Sai is a Kenyan. Pray so hard that you or your relative does not fall sick. The missing drugs in hospitals hazichagui whether wewe ni 1 term ama 2 term. I have seen a very long post on Twitter today. A lady recounting how her father died. They were taken to a hospital in Kiambu. Wakaambiwa walingojea kutoka saa 9 usiku mpaka saa 1 asubuhi. Why? There are no syringes. There is no anesthesia. Beds are dirty. Beddings are torn. There is no blood in the blood bank. There is no basic equipments that can help treat a patient. Why? Because apparently the government doesn't have money. But look, leo, jana, was it yesterday? John Mbadi anasema serikali inaenda kutumia 3 billion for consultation on how to sell Safaricom. Okay. Bado naimba 2 term. Wewe ni wale watu wenye Raila alikuwa anasema burukenge. Anajifanya mamba lakini yeye sio mamba. Yeye anaona lakini hasikii. So lazima apigwe. Usikuwe burukenge, my friend. I am here to tell you that this regime has to go home. It has to. And it is in the best interest of every Kenyan that President Ruto goes home as a 1-term president. 2 term.